The Minnesota Historical Society operates 26 historic locations across the state. From a lighthouse to a train depot to the state capitol to museums, you can have a lot of different experiences. One of the places that you can really get into the experience is the Oliver Kelley Farm in Elk River. The working farm dates back to the 19th century. Now they have added to the experience with several new spaces for visitors to enjoy. Ben visited the farm this week and has more.
It's a museum that's a farm that's a museum.
The Oliver Kelley Farm dates back to 1850. It has been under the care of the Minnesota Historical Society since 1961. Today, thousands of visitors tour the farmstead each year.
It's 189 acres on the Mississippi River. We have our historic farmstead, which the whole property goes back to 1850. And we have a historic farmstead that's set up to the late 1850s. It looks like it did over 150 years ago, acts like it. We have our trail system, which goes through the woods and prairies. And then we have what we call our farm lab area, which is our newest feature, and which includes our new visitor center, and then several new program areas where we really examine agriculture of today. So we have an 1860s view, we have a today view, to help connect people to the story of Minnesota agriculture.
The new spaces are a part of a $10.5 million upgrade aimed at telling a broader story of agricultural history.
Well, the new spaces really feature outdoor and indoor areas. So we have our new visitor center, which has some classroom space, a small exhibit space, community gathering space. We have a video that is kind of a quick snapshot of Minnesota agriculture, and it connects you to that. We have our learning kitchen, which is a state-of-the-art cooking locale. It is a kitchen that we use for exploring food over time. Their outdoor features include over an acre of new garden space where we have both what we call production gardens and exhibit gardens. We have several exhibit features. We have our farm lab barn area, which is really a demonstration area where visitors interact with the production animals that make up the bulk of the meat that people eat today, whether it's cattle or turkeys or chickens or sheep. Then we also have a crop area that we explore the 21st century crops. And these areas all give us a way to look at what farming and the connectivity to agriculture today and make that comparison to the 1860s version of farming. In the 19th century, farmers survived by brute force. It was hand and incredibly physical labor. Today, farmers survive by their brains because it is management decisions.
The Oliver Kelley Farm is a popular field trip spot for local students. Buses roll in every day in the spring and fall.
This spring we're going to see about 9,000 students in that season. And they're all spending 2 to 3 hours here at a time in their museum visit. So it's a very controlled tour. They're spending 25 to 30 minutes in a space where the staff are directing their activities, and they go to anywhere from 4 to 5 spaces in that time frame. And they also have very much a hands-on experience. They're interacting with livestock, they're interacting with gardens and crops, they're finding out about food and domestic activities. So they have a very full day when they're here. We move them fast, and it is a premier destination. We have schools that schedule over 2 years out, and we've sold out for 15 years our number of spaces.
The Minnesota Historical Society offers many different types of experiences at their 26 different sites. Your experience at the Oliver Kelley Farm is sure to be unique.
We're a different kind of museum than most museums people go to because you find very few signs in our museum. You have people who interact with you on a conversation level where they ask you lots of questions. We don't identify objects, we engage in conversations and dialogue, and we're very much an activity space, so we do things. So if you go into the kitchen on a weekend, you're going to get to do some sort of cooking or activity, an engagement activity. If you're going into the gardens, you're going to plant. With the animals, they might have you do chicken math over there. There's many different levels at which we interact with our visitors, but it really is a lot of conversations and dialogue.
The farm is still a working farm. Much of the food grown on the farm goes to feed the livestock that live on the farm. But some items, such as soybeans, are sold off to be processed. Bob wants visitors to leave knowing where everything that ends up on their table comes from.
That they understand that food comes from farms. It may get processed along the way, but in the end, everything starts on a farm.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.
The Oliver Kelley Farm is open weekends in May, and they will be open 6 days a week starting Memorial Day weekend. They will be celebrating all the new spaces with a grand opening on May 6th and 7th. That weekend will include special exhibits, demos, and live music. For more information, go to northmetrotv.com and click on News.